Topics at ease. So today in this video we will be talking about data collection. So what is data collection in research? So as we have discussed in previous video that research is very important. All right. And as far as research, data collection is also important. So data collection, we have known that data collection can be broadly divided into two parts: primary data and secondary data. The lowest unit of information, data is itself, cannot be understood to get information from the data. So data is a mixed hypothetical situation. Data is the mixed part from which our research attracts the exact, our research sieves, our research filters the data which we need, because in today's world data is present everywhere. So as a researcher must know which data is important for its research and which research is not important, that the researchers must understand. Now, what is data collection in research? Data collection in research is the systematic process of gathering information. It is the system, it falls under the system where data are being collected to relevant to the research topic. Anything and everything is not data. Data is something which is relevant to our research work. Data collection, and as far as the name is concerned, collecting data. Data collection in research is a systematic process. As we know, research is a systematic process, so hence data collection also comes under a systematic process of gathering information relevant to the research objectives or questions. Anything and everything is not considered as data to that particular concerning research. This information can be, now data can be quantitative, that means number or statistics, or qualitative, that is the observation part or the word part, is crucial for analyzing and making evidence based conclusion. So we can say that data collection in research is a systematic process of gathering information relevant to the research objectives or question. This information can be quantitative, number, statistics, qualitative, words or observation, and is crucial for analyzing and making evidence based conclusion. Types of data collection. Now it can be survey or questionnaires, it can be interview, it can be focus groups, it can be observations, it can be experiments, and so on. So primary data. Data now can be divided into two parts. Number one is primary data, number two is secondary data. Under primary data, that means primary, directly from the source. Secondary, that means the existing data, gather of use of existing data. These are the keywords. Please remember, the moment we are talking about primary data, it means that directly from the source, the researcher is directly gathering the data. It can be from survey questionnaires, it can be from interviews, it can be from focus group discussion, observations, as well as experiment. And secondary data states that government reports which has already been conducted, academic journals, company records, and the archived data. So what is the importance of data collection in research? Why we need data collection in research? As it ensures and reliability of the findings, what we are researching, the reliability. It helps to test hypothesis. The main part of research is testing hypothesis and assumptions, whether my hypothesis is correct, whether my hypothesis is right or wrong, that we need to understand. It also allows for evidence based decision making. Data collection also helps us for evidence based decision making. It supports the validity of conclusion drawn. It supports the validity of conclusion drawn. What conclusion we are drawing based on the research, isn't it? Other than research, other than data, how would we know that this is the particular data, this is the particular conclusion, this is the particular hypothesis? It is all based on the data which are collecting. So now let's take examples. All right, so primary data collection examples, as I have just now mentioned, is the survey or the questionnaires. A researcher studying media consumption habit. Suppose primary, the moment we are talking about primary data collection, we can say a researcher studying media consumption habits among college students distributes a Google form asking. A college student is conducting a data which is known as the consumption habits among college student. They want to search for the consumption habit of college student, then it distributes a Google form. The what will be the question? How many hours do you spend on social media? Suppose the research talks about how many hours do you spend on social media, which platform do you use most. So these are the data of concerning area, the use of social media. So I'm not questioning something irrelevant to the topic. I'm questioning how many hours do you spend on social media. I'm not asking how many hours do you spend on television. The moment I have said data collection, it must have a relevance between the my data, my research objective. All right. So a interview, the primary data, second part comes interview. Suppose a journalism researcher interviews 10 senior reporters from major newspapers to understand their views on press freedom in India, their particular observation, their particular views. So interview means the digging the inner view of my interviewer, the interviewee. All right. So a journalism researcher interviews 10 senior reporters from major newspapers to understand their views on press freedom in India. What is observation? A sociologist observes behavior in a public park, noting patterns like group activities, the individual behavior and social interactions. Then primary data's third part, we can say that experiment. A psychologist tests the effect of background music on memory retention. Very important. Everything is being tested. Suppose a psychologist want to test the effect of background music on memory retention. Nowadays we know in YouTube we have the white musics, the binary beats, as well as we have the Om mantra chanting for the mindfulness meditations. So what is the effect of that particular video? It is also being tested. So experiment, this is experiment research, the first primary data of experiment research. So I'm giving you an example. A psychologist tests the effect of background music on memory retention by dividing participants into two groups, one with music and another with without music. That means while discussing the variables, we have discussed the control variables, the confounding variables, the manipulating variables. So these things are interrelated actually, one with music they have divided into two parts, one with music and one without music, and comparing their performance. Now moving on to the secondary data, that means using government reports, which is already existing data. This is the keyword. Suppose a question asks the existing data, we can say that it is secondary data. We are talking about the secondary data. Now let's give example. Using government reports, suppose a public health researcher uses data from the National Family Survey Scheme to analyze trend in child nutrition in India. That is retrospective research. Retro means old, which I have already discussed. So in retrospective research, we can say that it uses old information and old data. A public health research uses data from the National Family Family Health Survey to analyze trend in child nutrition in India. Now analyzing existing research papers is also secondary data. All right. Doing literature review is also secondary data, because me as a researcher is not collecting the data, right? A student writing a dissertation on the effect of artificial intelligence in education reviews and synthesis findings from 20 peer review journal articles. All right. So these are the examples which I have stated. So data collection is the lowest unit of information. It can be divided into two parts, primary data and secondary data. Primary data means the researcher is collecting by themselves. The researcher is self-collecting the original source, the first hand. Secondary is gathering or use of existing data. Computerized database, company records, government publications. Refuse or reuse of data. Secondary data means reuse, just mug it up. Secondary data, existing, reuse, quick obtainable. Secondary, it is already available, so it's quick obtainable. Can be obtained from any sources, literature, survey, report, model experiment, process, etc. So examples which I have given, the previous research, the official statistics, the mass media products, the diaries, the letters, the government reports, Web information is also considered as secondary data. Historical data and information, that's retrospective. Now data collection, a common method is primary data, which is questionnaire form. Questionnaire method, what is questionnaire method? The advantage and disadvantage we know, we have done many research papers, we have done many project work also in school level as well. So there, the advantage and the disadvantage, we have the advantage and disadvantage of questionnaire method. Questionnaire method is damn cheap, it's quick, no bias, confidential, absence of interview bias. But the disadvantage is that problem of non response. Suppose any individual doesn't want to respond, so it's a problem of non response. And the unstructured response, something delayed. So tomorrow we will be discussing about the response format, the types of response and all. Thank you for connecting at Is No Media, where we discuss related topics at ease. Ball.